Simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we stay in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. Like, they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tori? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother Black Power, all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. I hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tori, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tori? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue, and I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines.
The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in radio land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Salute to everybody joining the show today. Who we got in the chat? Who we got in the chat? I see SE in the chat. Josh is in the chat. Jeff, how you doing, Jeff? Cyber King Mike in the chat. Not really a city girl. I see you, girl. In the chat. Hey, look, we got another powerful conversation today. And so I'm going to need y'all to tap in. Hit that like and subscribe button if you watching us rebroadcast live. Hey, look, check this out. It's Black History Month. It's Black History Month, and I was talking to a couple brothers, and I think that I don't see the enthusiasm. I mean, and when I say enthusiasm, I mean like how they give the enthusiasm for Cinco de Mayo. When they do the Cinco de Mayo, everybody out there having fun, and if you see the, St. Patrick's Day, it's even black people down there with the green beer and with the hats on and all of that. But we get a whole month in February, and I'm not seeing that type of energy. I mean, I think that if we brought that type of energy to February, they gonna make it one day. Like I believe when we start celebrating, really celebrating Black History Month, like going all out every day. Just we got a whole month. I understand what I'm saying. And if we turned up the whole month of February, it would be laws passed to shorten. It's too much. They turn it up too much. Can you imagine every day being celebrated to the fullest, like it was like a huge festival, I'm talking about Black history parties. People I'm talking about just going in, like, just celebrating, just a bunch of people just going out there, going to, to events. I'm talking about, we get the events where, it's like a program and they only give us a few, of our ancestors at the program. And then, we go home, we get inspired. But all I'm saying is, I really believe that I'm not feeling the energy when it comes to the Black History Month. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm just gonna say it. I'm not feeling the love. Like I'm hearing the past. We talk about the past, but we do that every day, and that's why I say Black History is every day. There's never a day that you should go where you don't celebrate Black history. And I celebrate Black history all the time. I'm not a 1 month person, but I think that if you're gonna give it a month, you gotta go up. And I'm not seeing that. And that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna throw that out there. But one thing that stuck out from me talking to the brothers, they didn't have a lot of hope in the overall success of the community. You know what I mean? You didn't see the overall, like, okay, we gonna get this together. I'm the one talking like that. I'm the one saying 2026, we about to get it on. We about to be about that action. We won't be ready for all the smoke. We got to make this change. It's time to regroup, rethink, and reshape. Everybody do a little. Ain't nobody got to do a lot. That's me. But I'm just seeing, individual efforts. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this for me, and I'm going to try to make this move. And it kind of reminded me, like, when you listen to the plantation ideas where people was on plantations and that one person was like, we can run away, we can get away. And they was, I don't know. I don't want to face the repercussions or, however that went. But can you imagine being the first person to run away and try to make something happen and getting caught for trying to run away? Like, can you imagine being that first person? We don't even know that person's name. We don't even know the first person that ever tried to escape. Like, but can you imagine telling somebody, hey, look, I'm finna get out of here. And where you going? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm finna get out of here. It can't be no worse than being right here. And can you imagine telling people that at the time where they just had settled for, or not settled, but they had been beaten down into submission to where they was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm just gonna do my little thing. I don't want no trouble. And you the rebel rouser. You the one saying, you know what? They go to sleep at 8. You know what I mean? And if I can hit this point and get up out of here, you know, it's a route. You know what I mean? I believe that I can get up out of here. And that thought process is the reason that we're free today. Like, somebody had to wake up and say, this ain't it. That's powerful. That's powerful. Like, that's just that thought alone sparked the next person and the next person and whatever else that came after that. And it drove a force in what was happening in the status quo. It eventually broke the status quo. And now we're here in 2026, and I'm seeing some of the same ideas. Hey, we can do better. We can get. Next thing you know, somebody say, well, you know, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, wow. This is why I don't talk. This is why I don't do meetings. I don't want to be sitting in no meetings and giving my ideas, and then next thing you know, somebody tell me that something ain't going to happen. See, I don't do that. That's why I go do it. By the time I figure by the time I could have got out this meeting, I could have went and did it, you know. That's why a lot of people be like, well, you don't do meetings, you don't do this, you don't do that. No, I got results. I'm holding a bag of results. Why? Because I didn't give nobody the opportunity to say that they ain't gonna work. Or I didn't give nobody the opportunity to say, you're not gonna be able to do that. I'm not gonna give you the opportunity. I'm not gonna sit across from somebody that's not willing to make the sacrifice and have them tell me something. You can't tell me nothing. I'm willing to make all the sacrifices. So why am I talking when I could have been walking? That's my mentality. I understand what I'm saying. It takes the imagination of somebody who believes that they can create a different way to make change. And that's how change always took place. Somebody saw a way out. And no matter what's going on in our communities right now, no matter what's happening, or no matter what we're seeing, it's always a way. You always got a chance and an opportunity to create. And let's not forget that. And we can celebrate Black History Month, turn up, even though Black History Month is every day. But when you highlight it and say, okay, this February is Black History Month, take some time, schedule a celebration with your family this year. You know, get everybody together. Have a good time. Get some food. Get a potluck. Gather everybody at one spot and say, it's our Heritage Month. Talk about what we're trying to do as a family. Talk about what we're trying to do with each other as a friend. Let's encourage each other. Let's get out of that individual space and see if we can see what we can do for the group. This is that time. This is that time to rekindle that fire of progress, change. And I'm here for it. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to get into the show, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
And that's Tory Lowe bringing you all the action and all the smoke. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers complete their homestand as they host the Detroit Mercy Titans at the UWM Panther Arena.
Refeed the block. Franklin, contact, yes! Score it in one. Back to the top, Dixon. Driving right, step back, wing, three on the way, and he hit it. Josh Dixon with a ceiling scraper.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 6:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tired of managing your rental property? Or maybe you just don't know where to start? At Odom Investments and Property Management, our professional team handles everything from tenant placement to maintenance and rent collection, so you don't have to. Let us take the stress out of property management. Call 855-ODOM-WAY or 855-636-6929 and experience the Odom Way today.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is the Tori Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Seven The Truth, Tori Lowe Show. Little technical difficulty if you're watching as we broadcast live. Andrew getting it together, so you may not see me on the screen, but I'm here. I'm here as we broadcast live. I want to talk about this because it's Black History Month, and I wanted to talk about the inventors that didn't get the credit that attributed to the comfortability of what we see today. And they added to generational wealth for white people, Western culture. They got their ideas stolen. They never got a lot from it, but it went on to shape our communities today. And sometimes a lot of these young people don't know that, a lot of Black inventors, they got patents, they were denied, or they got their patents stolen, or they was trying to create. We were, they call them YNs now, but that's the flip. They trying to flip it on you. But back when the world was being shaped, we've always been people that have shaped the culture, the environment. We always changing the game. We always getting involved. We always making things happen. And they try to marginalize that when it comes to what Black Americans have done. And I'm gonna say this: not this month. I wanna always acknowledge those that have kind of fallen to the wayside, but yet have contributed majorly in our society. For one, I want to talk about Elijah McCoy, the automatic lubricator. He had patents but faced discrimination in his business, and a lot of people have benefited from his invention, but yet he faced hardship to get it out. The automatic lubricator. Somebody say, I'll look these things up. Garrett Morgan, the traffic signal, gas mask, had to disguise race to sell his inventions, had to disguise his own race to try to sell his inventions, because sometimes black inventors did not get treated well in trying to present their ideas. Understand what I'm saying? We have been involved in every aspect of creation. And now it's 2026, and they saying that the kids don't know how to read and write. They saying that the kids got the lowest test scores and everything like that. That's by design.
Damn.
That's by design. You know what I mean? So we got to understand that sometimes it's just our job to teach and to let our children know that a lot of our culture has been purposely blocked out. A lot of the things that the greatness have been purposely left out of these history books. I understand what I'm saying. This is why I try to tell people, you gotta be sure that you don't rely on the system to teach your kids everything. That's why my question of the day is, what inventions were made that black people didn't get credit for, that added to generational wealth for Western culture? And we know, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. This is the time. I remember when I first tasted some Jack Daniels. I remember when I was, when I was in Iowa, and I tasted Jack Daniels, and something in my soul was like, this tastes like a brother did this. This is the first thing I said when I first tasted Jack Daniels, because it reminded me, because if you taste a lot of the alcohol, a lot of it be bitter, it be nasty, and you got to mix it with something. But when I first tasted some Jack Daniels, I was like, a brother probably made this. And I grew up in a house where I drunk Kool-Aid. And some people would make Kool-Aid and it wouldn't have no flavor, It wouldn't have no spunk to it. But all you gotta do is let, somebody from the block get it, make that Kool-Aid. It's powerful. So I knew we gonna add that little extra. And come to find out, Jack Daniels, the guy that Jack learned the recipe from was a black person. Understand what I'm saying? He didn't get the credit, but now they starting to give him a little credit. It's people that have done the research, and now they starting to give the brother some credit for helping make that Jack Daniels. Nearest Green, Nearest Green, Nearest Green. He was an enslaved man, taught Jack Daniels how to make that whiskey. And nobody knew. So if y'all sitting back drinking some Jack Daniels, think a black man. Think that black man. Understand what I'm saying? Refrigerated trucks. Frederick McKinley Jones made the refrigerated truck so people could travel around and get their items. Now y'all call it Grubhub. Now y'all call it, Walmart got a little service where if you get the service, they'll drop the groceries off right at the front door. Well, back in the day, Frederick McKinley Jones co-founded a company that had 61 patents for refrigeration technology. Understand what I'm saying? We've been on this. We've been doing this. You got to realize you got to know your history or you're going to end up a mystery. This is why I say when I open up the lines, y'all get y'all inventors ready. We going to name inventors. The question of the day, what inventors, they didn't get the credit, but they contributed it to society in a major way. And I think that it's time for us to give him the flowers. I know we talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the Panthers and all of the civil rights movement, but it was inventors that was getting, swindled out of their patents. Now, let me talk about Lax, Henrietta Lax. The Lax sales. Okay, they took her sales, and they still helping out the medical field to this day. I think recently the family, I think Benjamin Crump tried to do something with the family to get some money flowing through the family. Understand what I'm saying? I might be lost in history. Y'all might look up. I might be whitewashed in about 10 years. Who is Tory? Then you look up at all of these. Andrew, they got Andrew back there. You see, Andrew got the picture. Whitewashed me on the picture. Now, what if that picture go viral 30 years from now? And Tory Lowe might, try to flip me up. This is why a lot of people losing respect for the education system, because they're not even teaching the real history. They teaching the mystery. Columbus discovered America. How you discover something that was folks already there? Understand what I'm saying? Like, this is where I say, and sometimes when they say the black children is failing in the education system, maybe they don't want to check that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Maybe they on to it. Maybe they more wiser than us and understanding that, man, this might not be right. Bo the Elephant says, nah, Tory, that will never happen. That'll never happen this time. We will be telling our own story, for I am making sure that my story will be told. Josh says they never told the real history, and that's the problem. That's why I say, like, we can't wait for somebody to tell us the history. We got to start telling people what the history is. They'll tell you what their history is. Why are we waiting for somebody to tell us what our history is? That's called programming. And if they got to program you, they only going to program you with the idea that's going to be to their benefit, just like the inventions that they stole was to their benefit, and you don't even know who even invented it. The traffic light. Okay, well, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to have a pop culture report. I can't wait till 2 o'clock. We're going to open up the lines. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This Friday night, we have a city conference showdown as the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers battle the Carmen Northwest Eagles. Fast breaks, big shots, and bragging rights on the line. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
I caught an Uber in the evening, and my show comes on. The playback is at 6. It comes on. My show comes on at 6 to 9. The driver was Somalian, and I was just, in the back seat. And so he was listening to my show. And we was talking about what was going on in Minnesota.
What was his take?
No, he liked my show. He liked it. He liked my show. He didn't know it was me, though. He didn't know that the person that was on the radio was in his back seat. So what was funny was I was listening to me and listening to how he was listening to the show. And so I asked him, I said, you like that show? And he was like, oh, yeah, I love that show.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m., live on YouTube and right here on 1017 The Truth.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day. Too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. With 2 days to go before the NBA trade deadline, the market for Giannis Antetokounmpo has started to make progress as the Milwaukee Bucks have submitted counteroffers to teams aggressively looking to deal for the two-time MVP. The Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks are among the most active suitors. The Milwaukee Bucks head into a matchup against the Chicago Bulls tonight after losing 5 in a row. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. 6 teams have officially left their regional sports network and joined Major League Baseball on Monday, essentially shredding their local media contracts, the Milwaukee Brewers being one of those teams. The teams have decided to partner with MLB, which will produce their games for the 2026 season and beyond. On Twitter, the Brewers confirmed that fans within the Brewers' home television market will have options to watch games on cable and satellite television or stream through MLB.TV app. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In the news, another kid shot. I'm gonna make a change for the better. The revolution now's the time we get it together. I made peace with self, now I'm healed and ready. Illuminating from within, I'm prepared and ready. Got my boots strapped, locked and loaded, ready for war. About to take back the corners and grocery stores. Time to say the day I got the cap with a hole in it. Straight out the project, so you know I'm a menace. Out there hit the block hard, non-stop till we finish. I'm the cure for the crisis, black belt that ain't righteous. Let's go! For the children! Here I come to save the day.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Truth Nation Insider GP in the studio.
What it do?
What's happening in?
I'm feeling good. It's Tuesday. Obviously, it's Black History Month. I didn't get to wish everybody a happy Black History Month yesterday, but again, as you mentioned, we need to shout out more brothers who are out there making and creating, all the wonderful things that we get to enjoy day to day. So we obviously need to highlight those people, not, only during Black History Month, but all the time.
Right, and then we need to uncover the brothers that didn't get the recognition too, the unsung inventors that got blocked from developing things, and somebody took it and they made generational wealth, and he died broke. It's a lot of stories like that, and I shake my head because that's the way it was.
I mean, yeah, like I think about, even going back to like middle school, I was telling, Andrew in the back room, obviously, the only things that I kind of remember from middle school or learning in middle school was obviously Martin Luther King or Dr. Martin Luther King. They would wheel in the big TV and they'd play the little cartoon movie, and you get to kind of encapsulate how he got his start and how he was so pivotal in the civil rights movement. But they don't highlight a lot of the smaller things. Or, for example, the only thing that I kind of know that people or our people have made is peanut butter. And I'm even blanking on the name, but this is something that a lot of people don't know. There's so many products and items and creations that we use day to day that Black people have created for the betterment of not only us, but everyone in general. So we always need to highlight those stories, success stories like that.
I mean, we were so good at doing things with our hands that we knew how to make things easier because we was working with our hands.
Right.
And the people that was over watching, they just took the ideas because they weren't even out there working with their hands. So a lot of times, a lot of things that we don't even know that Black people invented because it was taken away from them and they were never given the credit, like the cotton gin. Okay, brother was like, you know what? I see what y'all doing. Y'all got us out here like this.
I need to simplify this.
I'm going to simplify this. And he simplified it. Eli Whitney.
Yep.
He patented the cotton gin, yeah. Yep. But, they took the ideal and got generational wealth from it.
Yeah, and that, it goes to show, again, cotton is in everything, if not, almost everything that we have, whether it be the shirt on your back or the underwear that you got on your, your private parts. So there's so many stories, again, so many people that we could highlight throughout the generations, whether it goes back, into the 1700s and 1800s when slavery was prevalent, and even till today. Again, there's a lot of people who might be silent partners in rooms where there's a figurehead and they aren't getting the credit for being the creative mind behind these products. And
they do that to this day.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why we had the boycott of Target. Obviously, there's a lot of people who have taken the risk and started their own brands.
We could have not boycotted Target and stopped making our communities a food desert. Like, okay, you putting all that energy over here where we got people saying that they can't get fresh groceries in the community. We direct our energy for the wrong purpose, that we don't get a tangible outcome, when there's plenty issues in our community that could have had that same energy and we could have rectified a lot of our ills ourselves.
Yeah, we continually get mad at the people who already have a leg up on us instead of coming together as one and, taking baby steps towards our own grocery store or community where.
And then the brother that got the grocery store on TV saying he about to go out of business. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, what's really going on?
Yeah.
We got to stop being distracted.
Yeah.
And many times our distractions are waiting for somebody else to do it outside of who we are. And many times through social engineering, through education, through the culture, they'll try to steer us away from looking at ourselves as the solution and look at each other as divide and conquer, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the rap music contributed to that. A lot of the marketing, a lot of the television programming contributed to that. Many times when we tell people, like, okay, many times art imitates life.
Yes.
So if they keep showing you the same thing over and over again, then people think that that's real, but really it's just conditioning. And many times we forget that we had better ran communities, that they were burned down by jealous white people.
Yep, Black Wall Street, yeah.
They ran freeways through well-to-do black communities. Now they're looking at 2026, why y'all acting like this?
Yeah.
They forget the past, that this was engineered and constructed to be exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, this is, that's another place that I kind of got to see. I had a friend that I was helping move to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and actually got to go down there and see Black Wall Street. And so, again, it's powerful when you get to see, people that look like us and people that were, of kin of us, that had their own banks and they had their own bakeries and grocery stores and other things. They didn't have to travel far or go rely on any other bigger corporation in order to live and survive in an area like that. And so it was obviously burnt down, and, it recovered. There's still stores that are obviously there and that are black owned, but who knows that, it could have been an entire city, kind of a paradise for people that look like us and, that we relate to. So it's something that, again, we need to finally prioritize and really not put on the back burner anymore. Again, we celebrate this month. We love February because it gives us a chance to really hone in on the stories that we need to tell for for the people that
and
aren't
educate,
here anymore.
And our children need to know that they came from powerful people.
Yes.
It was just not written. And, we read books and they don't have a lot of these ideas in there. So you got to search and dig for the real ideas and do the real research to understand that underneath all of the marketing and the, the media and the programming, we came from a great people with pride. A great people with structure, great people, they try to make you think it's savage. They started having the rappers talk about savage life, and they try to reconform your brain or reprogram your wiring through the music and other ideas. But really, if you understand and start really chipping away and doing your research, we were the structure that shaped America.
Yep, the framework and everything, that goes along with it. Again, I always say, if you don't believe, who else will? And so if we don't, appreciate our own culture for what it is, and if we don't tell these stories, then they'll just get buried over time. Again, there's a lot of stories, even within the last, 10 to 15 years, that people might not have ever even heard about or just completely forgotten about. And so as this month kind of, carries on, again, we need to make sure that it's Black history all the time, not just for 28 days.
And I agree. And that's why I say, like, if we turned up every day of Black History Month, they're going to shorten it.
I'm telling you.
They're going to make it shorter,
Well, sometimes there's leap years, too, so we don't even get the full 28 days.
Somebody in the chat was like, Cinco de Mayo was kind of like Juneteenth Day or something like that. I was like, no, I'm talking about if you got a whole month to celebrate your peoples, it's so many different people that it should be parties going on every other weekend.
Right.
For different reasons, different themes, different aspects of the culture. You know what I mean? So many great ideas that we came up with to shape America, the future, everything. And so these are the different ideas that and one person could do this kind of party.
Yeah.
The next other couple weeks, we could have this kind of party. Like, we should just be balling out because our people are that great.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be just one idea, we know, swing low, sweet chariot. You know what I mean? We should be celebrating the inventors. We should be celebrating the architects, the people that structured things that made it convenient for us to this day. We got to make sure that we not just celebrating the surface level ideas. It's things that were made by blacks that help society. That's why I said we don't have to apologize as black people.
Yeah.
Because we've benefited everybody with our journey.
And that's where it starts. Again, whether inventors, dancers, singers, artists, there's so many, again, beautiful and wonderful things that our culture has done over the decades that we need to highlight all of those things. And so, in my head, again, like I'm still a younger guy, but the only things that I can kind of think of us celebrating, again, Black History Month, and then we look forward to Juneteenth after that. There's a holiday named after almost every other, white man that's been in power or kind of every other month. And so, again, we need to hone in and kind of lock in and really, really take pride in, again, being black first and foremost. And, again, making sure that every day, every hour that we're on this earth is celebrated to its fullest.
Look, I'm going to tell you this. I get excited when I see people that have that fire. For the culture, for themselves, for the family, for everybody. We've always contributed in a way where there's not a human being breathing on this planet that have not greatly benefited from the struggle of blacks right here in America. And that's powerful.
It is.
It's powerful. And when you forget that, people will make you feel like a doormat.
Like I said, we gotta be the ones. We gotta be the ones holding the door open, not waiting for somebody else to open it for us. We gotta knock and we gotta kick the doors down. So, again,
we didn't already kick the doors down. They didn't give us the credit.
They still not trying to let us in the living room though. You might be in the house,
but then you create your own house.
Yeah,
we did that, and they burnt it to the ground. I mean, we forget that before the 50s and the 60s and before integration and before. We had powerful communities, that they don't talk about. In the midst of getting out of slavery, in the midst of Jim Crow, thriving black communities, doctors, lawyers, teachers, the village.
Yeah, again, it's powerful. Again, 28 days is not, enough to celebrate and to give recognition again to all those who came before us. Again, even, some of my fondest memories in high school, I did a project on the Freedom Riders. And again, without the sacrifices of people like that, we might still be kind of stuck in the dark ages. So again, spread that history, make sure anyone that is around you or anyone that wants to know, again, the culture and what we've contributed to it, they need to know. They need to be aware.
Well, look, when we come back, we're going to have to get into this pop culture report. I guess we took some time out to shout out that black history.
It's the Black Culture Report today.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversation. Stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Listen Fridays to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris during Black History Month for Dr. Ken's Trivia. It's not just questions, it's culture. Facts they don't teach you and a few stories that matter. We'll test what you know and teach each other something new along the way. Lock in your Fridays in February. Be ready to call in and bring your brain with you. Dr. Ken's Trivia, Friday in February on Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, YouTube, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. you might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Seven The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. GP joining me for the Pop Culture Report.
What it do?
GP, what's going on in these pop culture streets?
Well, speaking of Black history, obviously, as we know, Michael Jackson, who has passed away, has left this earth, but he has a biopic that is set to come out, I believe, April 24th.
Another one?
Yeah, another one, but this is the good one, I guess. This is the good version of Michael Jackson, so to speak. But
this ain't got one of those people that's playing Michael Jackson like the last one that was like trying to make him look like Wacko Jacko.
I know you saw the one with Flex Washington where he was just dusted in powder.
Right.
So,
that was wild.
But no, this biopic obviously set to come out.
His nephew is playing Mike.
Yes, Jafar Jackson, his nephew, is set to star, obviously, in Michael, along with Coleman Domingo, who I believe is set to play Joe Jackson, and Nia Long, who is set to play Katherine Jackson. And so they recently released a new trailer, kind of, again, building the hype for this film. And so I'll let Andrew kind of cue that up, and then we'll go from there.
You're confident. You're strong.
All right.
You're beautiful. You're the greatest of all time.
Let me tell you something. In this life, you're either a winner or you're a loser. Y'all want to work in a steel mill like me for the rest of your days?
No, sir.
Yeah, because I sure as hell don't. Y'all willing to fight for it?
Oh, they did a good job with this.
I need to hear you a little louder. Y'all willing to fight for it?
Yes, sir.
Ready whenever you are, Michael.
Okay, I can feel it.
You know what I'm after?
You want to be the biggest star in the world?
We need to capitalize on Michael's success. Because the Jackson family is the brand. That's our Coca-Cola. And we need to start selling. So I'm planning an international tour. This is just the beginning.
I need to think.
I told you what to think.
Joe Jackson.
I love my family.
Yeah.
But I just want to do my own
The
thing.
man that made it all happen.
Just have all these ideas in my head.
This looking powerful.
It's looking really, really good. And so we can kind of cue it down from there. But again, set to drop April 24th. And so
I'm going.
You might not be able to get a ticket for a couple months.
What you mean?
I'm betting it'll be sold out for the first couple months, if not a month and a half, because you got to think about it. This is
When the tickets go on sale?
I don't know if there's a pre-sale. We need to kind of figure that out. I'm sure we'll share that information as it kind of comes out. But again, when we talk about, again, Black history as well, stories like this obviously need to be manufactured and need to be told. And so I think, number one, it's beautiful that they kept it in the family. Obviously, Jafar Jackson, who had to have been trained and kind of, I guess, prompted to be in this role, whether it's the mannerisms and kind of the voice and everything that he kind of had to learn from, obviously his uncle. And so also the stars that are willing to kind of jump on board for this. Coleman Domingo, very respected and well spoken for actor, as well as Nia Long, who we love, someone in the Black community who's nailed about every single role that she's been in. But there's also kind of the bad side of this, I guess, biopic. A lot of people are kind of questioning what's going to be really focused on and what's going to be left out. And so from the trailer, you can kind of see, obviously, there's that moment in the office with Joe Jackson and his son where I believe they were kind of talking about the tour in the 1980s, where I think they were kind of doing a reunion, or there was a planned Jackson 5 reunion that Michael kind of wasn't on board of. And so that kind of came down to, I guess, creative differences. And so we'll see how kind of tense, how they pictured that relationship, because it was known to be very tense for a while. I know there was a couple years where they didn't speak because he didn't really feel like Michael was caring about the family and that he had outgrown everybody. No one wanted to get left behind. So,
well, I thought it was like some beef between like Jermaine Jackson and Michael Jackson. They was talking about there was a little beef because Jermaine Jackson started going solo, and then Michael was about to go solo, and I think that they kind of put an end to the beef. But you would think that if you was on top of the world, like when I be looking at these biopics, sometimes what we see in the mainstream is nothing like what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why when I watch these biopics now, I'll be like, wow, these people, had high blood pressure half of the time. Like, they, we looking at the glitz and the glamour, but they having infighting, people stealing money from them, conflict with themselves, trying to figure out who they are at the same time, entertaining the world. I mean, I like watching these biopics because you get to see that these people weren't what you thought they were. They were who they were, but we just didn't know. I can market you right now like you one of the best people in the world, and all of a sudden I go to your house and you depressed,
Well, I mean,
but you on TV, like you got it all together, and I think that we got to understand the difference between being marketed and real life.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. I think the toughest part again with Michael and obviously his father was that, obviously someone that gave you life, that birthed you. And Joe Jackson, again, he didn't really like the circumstances that he came from. Obviously, steel mill worker, Gary, Indiana, still one of the poorest cities in America to date, where there's not a lot of opportunity. And so maybe he kind of felt that his son.
But he was made to be the villain out of it. When I watch the stories about Joe Jackson, he just now starting to get his flowers. Like, people are saying, okay, if it wasn't for his, the way he raised them boys, this wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? And he got the bad image of, okay, he was a narcissist, he was, abusive or something to a certain degree.
Yep.
But now on the back end, you look at the wealth, the legacy, and you take Joe Jackson away from it, do you really get what you see?
Well, I think the toughest part, I think once people watch the biopic, I think the thing that they have to kind of decide, because obviously it's going to take a lot of the bad parts out of the relationship that they had, but was his sacrifices and was how hard he pushed them really worth what we got to see or what we got Michael Jackson to become? Again, global, international
did you see
icon.
Young Mike when he was doing a robot on the TV shows and just, pop locking and
the stage presence,
perfection. I'm talking about, but that was under Joe Jack. Joe Jack had got him to that point. Like, all I'm telling people is that they always try to demonize fatherhood, and sometimes fatherhood don't look like motherhood.
It's not glamorous.
The mother is the caring one. Do you want something to eat? And the dad is like, hey, if you don't get this done, I'm gonna have to come see you.
Yeah,
and they made that sinister, but that's really fatherhood. Like. And a lot of times, a lot of fathers, they get demonized in the process of trying to rear their children when, you don't want a soft dad.
Yeah. I think.
You don't want a soft dad. And you don't want a dad that let you, do whatever. You know what I mean? You want a dad that make you say, okay, I better do this or my dad he ain't gonna like that. That keeps you on track.
Yeah, he got Michael, to where he needed to be and kind of kept him in line and also helped him kind of develop the stage presence and the confidence. But something, again, that we saw obviously manifest itself later on in life. Michael never really got the chance to become or be a kid. There wasn't times where he couldn't hang out and play sports with the neighborhood kids and stuff like that. He was at home practicing in the living room with his brothers. And so they garnered all the fame and all the attention that they wanted and could have ever, had desired. But again,
what is the price for greatness?
Sometimes it's too steep.
But what I'm saying is, what is the price to be great? I'm talking about to be the greatest ever. I'm talking about the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah, lots of hours.
That's why a lot of people are not going to be the greatest of all time, because they don't want to sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, when I think about this biopic again, there's a lot of eras and there's a lot of kind of peaks and valleys that I can't wait to see. Again, you see the conversation that Michael was having, where he's like, I just think I'm going in a different kind of direction. And so being, again, bold enough and being willing enough to take that risk and step out on your own. But again, we saw something that we also didn't kind of see in the trailer as well. Again, when we talk about him not having a childhood, when he bought a monkey, when he had Bubbles, the monkey, then they have, which is CGI. Obviously, they couldn't, get a real monkey to kind of play that part, which is kind of funny. But you get to see all the possessions and stuff that he bought, whether it was Neverland and...
Didn't he have a giraffe at one point?
He had all kinds of animals and chimpanzees and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so those are the things that we probably won't see get depicted in the biopic, whether it was the children hanging out, again, at Neverland, or his kind of, I don't want to say closeted, but he tucked himself off from society for a while, which led to some of the changes. I think they also have kind of a scene that alludes to the Pepsi accident that happened in the 80s, where I believe that helped him kind of develop vitiligo or whatever disease that he thought or was inflicted with. But again, I think we will see the personality changes over the time. I think the film is supposed to be shot or kind of presented in 3 different acts. And so while we'll see Jackson 5 days, we'll see kind of the early solo career, and then maybe we'll see a little bit of the, I don't want to say crash and burn, because he was still popular into the 2000s, but mentally I don't think he was all there.
Well, I'll say this. Very few artists transcend time. And Michael Jackson, to this day, has not lost an inch. Like, kids are doing the dances to these video games. Mike is still powerful to this day. His music will last beyond our lifetime. And so when I can see a good movie that has Michael Jackson in, I have not seen a good movie with Michael Jackson in it. Like, I've seen movies when I was a kid and things like that, but I'm hoping that this movie gives me something powerful about something real, about some of the, behind the scenes, but yet capture the powerful moments that he had on stage that gave you that electricity too.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, when we talk about Black history, again, going back to the same conversation that we were kind of having earlier, I can think of all the other legends that have had movies that have kind of given them their flowers and given them their proper kind of due diligence. For example, when Will Smith played Ali, fantastic movie. The casting, the mannerisms, everything was proper. Along with Malcolm X, when Denzel Washington played Malcolm X, that was also another beautiful depiction or portrayal of someone that was very valued and also underappreciated in the Black community. And so I hope that, again, Jafar Jackson, from what we're seeing, it looks like everything is what it needs to be.
They casted this amazing. Yeah. I seen this trailer. I was like, I got to see this. Yeah. I usually wait till it come out after the movies. I'm going to see this in the movies.
Nah, I don't need a full crowd in there.
I need the IMAX. I need the IMAX effect. I need the big screen.
Reclining
I need the
chair, big bucket of popcorn.
I need all of it. I need everything. I need the works.
Goobers, all that. Sour Power straws.
I mean, just give me, a nice seat. I might go where they serve the dinner. To just something like that.
I might break out the loafers and the glittery socks.
I might have a beaded jacket on. You know what I mean? All right. Well, I appreciate you for the Pop Culture Report, GP.
As always, I appreciate you.
All right. Look, when we come back, we're going to open up the lines, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This Black History Month, 1017 The Truth, opening up the mic to Milwaukee's youth. Young boys and girls sharing what Black history means to them in their own words. I'll be reading and sharing your submissions with the 1017 The Truth audience all month long. Our voices, our stories. If you know a young person with something to say, share their message on social media, tag @ToryLowe_King or 1017 The Truth. Let's amplify their stories together.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th for the second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by Homer Blow and yours truly, Bailey Coleman, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017thetruth.awards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. Stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. I wanna pose my question of the day. What has Black done for society that has created massive changes for the world? I mean, sometimes they look at the Black community and be like, man, like some people say, I want to scratch my head. But really, you need to put the truth in your head and understand that we have came from extreme greatness that shaped the world. We were just talking about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson shaped the world. Like the whole industry, you know, one of the first Black artists to be on MTV when they weren't even letting artists on MTV. You know what I mean? Breaking boundaries. We before that, you know, we talk about culture, neighborhood, village. That's our stuff. A lot of people say that religion came out of Africa. You know, if you look at the hieroglyphics on the pyramid, things like that, they went to sample those things and then brought them back to their country. You know, a lot of people would say that Europe was built and structured by people that was dark-skinned, you know, Moors. Understand what I'm saying? So, okay, but they don't teach that in modern times. Only thing they teach is Kunta Kinte, roots, being whipped. I remember when I was a kid, the first movie I seen about Black people was Roots, slavery. Kunta Kinte. Toby. Like, that was the first, okay, like, made me believe that our history started in slavery. They didn't teach nothing. All they taught was from slavery up until when I was born. That's what they was talking about. And we never knew what happened before Western culture did all the slavery stuff. That it was civilizations, it was societies, architecture, structure, all of that. That's why you can't start your history as slavery when you foundational black, when you understand that it goes beyond that. And I tell people, like, you gotta realize that we gotta start teaching our own messages. Like, I don't nobody else wait for somebody to tell them what happened. Like, and I always tell people like that, such and such. When you start blaming somebody else, that's the problem. You can go out there and do it yourself, but some people have been beaten down and ran to the ground to where they don't even believe in themselves no more. They don't even believe that they can go do it. That's that psychological damage. That's that Jim Crow, that's that Willie Lynch, that theory. You got to break these boundaries. You got to break these chains so you can see. So you can see that you've been brainwashed. I'll say this, and this is where I really started waking up. When I was out in Iowa and Minnesota, I would ask people who they were. And they would say, I'm German, and my grandmother was Swedish, and they would have the area where they came from and everything, They were Irish, and I didn't know they was beefing. They taught me that everybody was white. That's what they taught. Everybody white, everybody dark is black. This is what they was teaching us. But then you get out in the real world and you start seeing that you the eyeball because your history was stripped, erased, and tossed to the side. But everybody else, their history is intact. They know the truth. They know where their grandfather came from and their great-grandfather came from, and they know where they was born, and they know information and who had a business and who did this. And when you talk about the black history, a lot of times it's keep away. Like, one year you Afro-American, the next year you African-American, then you people of color, then you're a minority, then you urban, like switching it up, you know what I mean? Keep away, because they know the truth. As long as they can keep you guessing, they'll always have the advantage on top of you because knowledge is power. And this is why we have to seek knowledge. This is why we have to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors and not the commercialized ancestors. Some of y'all standing on the shoulders of ancestors that y'all done made up in your head. Like, it look good. But we don't know the history. So we adopted. We adopted our history because we didn't know. If you like this part of Africa, then you can adopt that part of Africa. Some people didn't even come from Africa. Some people was already here. Like, it's serious. So okay. But why they keep away? Ask yourself, why they don't want you to know who you truly are? Now that's deep. You can't even find that in the NPS system. Y'all sending y'all kids to school to learn history that makes no mention of who they truly are. I understand what I'm saying. So when you talk about black history, from your knowledge, from your information that you got, you could be completely wrong. That may not even been true. Because why? When they erase the history, when they erase the files, when they reprogram your mind, when they wipe out a whole generation of people that understood the roots, and then they erase that, and then you come in and they give you the Bible, or they give you the religion, and they give you how to dress, and you no longer in your culture no more. But we still got it in our DNA. That's why they call it pop culture. We created pop culture. Why do you think they call Michael Jackson the king of pop? What's pop? Current culture, popular trending culture, pop culture. I remember Justin Timberlake tried to say he was the king of pop, and people, they struck that down. We still creating history without even knowing the true history. But my question of the day, what have blacks invented that have changed the world that people are using right now, and they need to thank a black person or thank the black culture right here in America because they're living conveniently off of the ideas and the inventions of black? I named a few at the top of the hour. But I'm going to need Truth Nation to chime in. Even white people. Y'all know the truth. I need white society to call in. Y'all got a lot of generational wealth from black inventors, black ideas. They created the light bulb, and you created the electric company. Y'all, a lot of y'all wealth and the way y'all position in America is largely off the back of black. Free labor. Stolen ideas. And that's the truth. So y'all can call in too. 833-212-1017. We got Eastside Corey on the lines. How you doing, Eastside?
Woo! Oh, happy Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
Today is Tuesday. Tuesday, February 3rd.
Sir, we are on the same page today. I was going to call in today and offer my Caucasian friend Eddie. Has he called in this month yet? Has he called in?
He called in, I think, yesterday or the day before, but you know, he pop in and out. You know how Eddie is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know he's turned out to be pretty stand up. I'll give him some credit, okay? I want to challenge Eddie or any of the characters that like to call into the Tory Lowe show in particular, that if you're going to call in and you're not of the black race and some other race, I want you to go to Google, find something about blacks that you didn't know. Hopefully it relates to your current career, like Eddie's into painting outdoor, indoor. I'm sure there are plenty of inventions that black folks helped the institution of paint and painting, indoor and outdoor. Find that that inventor is or what that item is, and bring it home. You know, really know this thing, so that when somebody asks you, you will know a fact about black history that pertains to your particular job. That's what I did when I used to be a teacher, to make people relate to it. I would challenge them to go, okay, what do you like to do as your hobby? Okay, go find a black person that invented something related to that you had no idea. And it's amazing results. We got Google. We got institutional power here at the interwebs. Start using it, okay?
I agree.
Let's challenge people to better their brains, so when they call up to the Tory Lowe show, they come with shared knowledge and discovery. And that's the way we move forward in a positive way, you see?
And I agree.
Something you love, something you do. Mm-hmm. Not like Don Lemon, butting in and doing this and that whole thing.
So crazy.
I hope they arrest him real good.
Hey, look, I'll tell you this. This is a powerful time because a lot of people don't understand that when you have comfortability, when you have wealth, somebody had to do that real work. Somebody had to start those roots and those foundations. And a lot of times when you do your digging, it was a black person that never got the credit behind a lot of this. Understand what I'm saying? Even the GPS. If you ever use GPS, think a black person, think a black woman. Understand what I'm saying? Do your research. Go do your digging. The internet. Look at the roots. Look how they compounded to what it is today. We got Tracy. How you doing, Tracy?
How you doing?
Blessings, brother.
It's so much stuff out here. You can start with the black woman. She came up. She wanted to heat her house, more than one room in her house, so she came up with a system with vents so she could heat her own house. Thermo queen.
Powerful.
First of all, we invented soap.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol, hot and cold running water, the aqueduct, so we could have fresh water, the corral, so we could corral our animals. Instead of having them running all through the house, we would corral our animals. There's so much stuff. Well, everything, from the wheel all the way down. You can think of anything. Missiles, you could think of the nuclear stuff, astronomy, everything you can think of. Our hands is in it. That is a fact.
That is a fact. Hey, look, let me tell you something.
That is a fact. You can look it up.
You can look
go
this
on
up.
YouTube right now and type in all inventions. It's going to be over 1,000 of them.
And that ain't even all of them.
That ain't even all of them. It's like at least 50 to 60,000 things that we have came up with. Even the commode where you sit on the toilet. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did. The doorknob, dude. The doorknob. We wouldn't even have them up.
Hey, look.
That is a fact.
Hey, look, if you got some potato chips in your hand, hey, you might have to thank a brother. Thank your brother from another mother for eating them chips. And see, this is where we have to make sure that our young people are told these things. Our young people got to know, because sometimes they fighting to get the knowledge, and they shouldn't have to fight to get the knowledge, but they don't want it sometimes from out of a book that they have already deemed ain't no good for them because they seen what it did to you. They said you went through the system, look what it did to you. But then they say they're going to make jails from the third grade test scores. I need y'all to call in 833-212-1017. What are some inventions that changed the world, that black people have made that have changed the world? 833-212-1017. We got to run the break. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers complete their homestand as they host the Detroit Mercy Titans at the UWM Panther Arena.
3 feet the block. Franklin, contact, yes! Score it and one. Back to the top, Dixon. Driving right, step back, wing, 3 on the way, and he hit it. Josh Dixon with a ceiling scraper.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Valentine's Day is almost here, and Cousin Subs has the perfect sweet treat. Our limited-time chocolate strawberry shake mixes rich chocolate and sweet strawberry flavor into one creamy, indulgent sip. Share it on a date, or enjoy it just for you. But hurry, it's only available through February 15th. Order in store, online, or in the app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Turn pain into pleasure. The man turn to dog turn to shepherd. He getting the lost ones together. Trying to tell them the truth, tell them they can do better. Low in the streets, you better know it's for the people. Trying to take the village back from the villains, let them know it's a sequel. That boy heart so big, he can't even fit inside a regal. No fraud, no tricks, no deceit, no evil. Tory Lowe, Tory Lowe, Tory Lowe on the low, let me tell you about
the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we're honoring voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our presence, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in to Dr. Ken's Trivia Spotlight, powerful facts and moments you need to know, and Tory Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth perspective and lived experience that define who we are. Tune in all month long. That's 1017 The Truth lifts up the legacies and brilliance and the power of Black history, because Black history isn't just history. It's happening every day. 1017 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. Also, hey, I got a contest for the young people. If y'all didn't know, we got a contest where youth can write a couple paragraphs about Black history and how it's inspiring them, and we'll read some of them on the Tory Lowe Show. So go to 1017thetruth.com to sign up your youth for this Our Voices, Our Stories, right here on the Tory Lowe Show. So make sure that y'all are participating. Sit down with the family. Get y'all young people to write how they can inspire others. You know, understand that they don't have to talk about the past. They can talk about what they're going to do to shape the future. It's their voice, how they feel. And sometimes we don't want to hear the reality of how these young people feel, because a lot of young people come in to the Tory Lowe Show and you know what they tell me? They just want to be heard. They feel like the adults ain't listening to them. Every time I bring a group of young people in, they feel like nobody's paying attention to them. And this is sad, because they have a voice. They have a voice. And many times we have to make sure that that voice is heard. So once again, if you got a young child, you know, that can write and they can inspire, have them write down a couple paragraphs, send it in, go to 1017 The Truth to enter into the Tory Lowe Our Voices, Our Stories, and I'll read them right here live on the air this month. Also, I want some poetry. I got some poetry coming through this month as well for Black History. And like I said the other day, this is the only month where I love to hear, where I really have a kind of a need to hear some powerful poetry. You know, for some reason, Black History Month and inspiring poetry kind of goes hand in hand. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's, you know, if it's everybody, but I know that poetry kind of does it for me during Black History Month. And I don't even go to poetry shows or nothing like that. I'm a writer. I do music. I express myself through art as well. I have. But what I'm saying is, I just like to hear it during this time of year because it's so powerful. It's so inspiring. And many times, this may be the only month where I have that craving. Like, I need to hear some powerful poetry. So I'm gonna bring some poets on. If you a poet, reach out. Reach out. If you got something powerful, hit me up. 833-212-1017. Let Andrew know you got something powerful. Now, I'm gonna say this. Don't come weak now. It's it's Black History Month. I'm trying to tell you. I don't need nobody coming up here stuttering on the air. You know what I mean? I need it to be powerful. You know, I need to make the one tier, try to make the one tier come out.
And is already working. Our guy AP is already working to get us poets.
Right. But like I said, I mean, I got a few that I done already signed up to. So look, long as it's Black History and you got a poem, you can come through. But it can't be. I might have to pre-listen to it, because sometimes people be faking, and then they get in front of it and they get to, it don't be powerful. No, I need Black History poetry. I understand what I'm saying. I need to feel this. I need to see the ancestors standing over your shoulders when you doing it. I need to see that the ancestors got your back from the poem.
We might get a double whammy, a kid writing a poem.
Yeah, kids, whoever. It's some great people that know how to put them words together and know how to make you feel the impact. So once again, reach out, 833-212-1017. Reach out to the production staff here. They'll put you on the list. We'll get you on the show. I need the poems. I need the young people to write their stories. I need it to be going down. It's February 3rd. We got the rest of the month. They say we got the shortest month of the year, but it don't matter. Black history is every day. That's the part they forgot. That's the part they forgot. Somebody tried to make a joke. Well, y'all got the shortest. They got Black history in the shortest month. Well, okay. Is that the only time that you listen or try to, get involved with Black history? Then that's your problem. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, I want to get into this story. Every DHS officer in Minnesota now will be wearing body cameras. Every Homeland Security officer will be wearing body cameras. I want to talk about that when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
We need to optimize the PID controller for smoother robotic movements.
Our data analysis shows a significant correlation between the variables in both control groups.
The test shows you experience an acute myocardial infarction.
As you'll see on the syllabus, this course will largely focus on the Mesozoic era.
Get your child the access every child deserves. Enroll your K through 8th grade child by February 28th at Milwaukee College Prep, mkeprep.com/enroll.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation. Because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. With 2 days to go before the NBA trade deadline, the market for Giannis Antetokounmpo has started to make progress as the Milwaukee Bucks have submitted counteroffers to teams aggressively looking to deal for the two-time MVP. The Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks are among the most active suitors. The Milwaukee Bucks head into a matchup against the Chicago Bulls tonight after losing 5 in a row. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. 6 teams have officially left their regional sports network and joined Major League Baseball on Monday, essentially shredding their local media contracts, the Milwaukee Brewers being one of those teams. The teams have decided to partner with MLB, which will produce their games for the 2026 season and beyond. On Twitter, the Brewers confirmed that fans within the Brewers' home television market will have options to watch games on cable and satellite television or stream through MLB.TV app. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Finds himself losing himself for my sake will find it. And he who loses his life for my sake will find it. I've been praying for peace. I've been praying for peace. Tired of fighting these beasts, but they need me in these streets. Yeah.
It starts with a spark at Milwaukee College Prep. The spark turns into something extraordinary. From age 3 to 8th grade, MCP nurtures brilliance, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of students face economic hardship, but that doesn't define them because MCP, every child potential shines. With 4 campuses and 1 powerful mission, college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, where Milwaukee's future begins to shine. Hey. Well, let's get over to Minnesota, where they're saying now after 2 deaths dealing with ICE, now Homeland Security officers in Minnesota will begin to wear body cameras. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, don't forget to like and subscribe. We got video. Let's listen.
Now the latest fallout from the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. The Trump administration announcing that all Department of Homeland Security officers in the field in that city will be outfitted with body cameras. Matt Rivers there in Minneapolis for us this morning. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. Secretary of DHS Kristi Noem basically saying that this announcement is coming after weeks of controversial tactics that have put the city on edge here. Secretary Noem in a statement in part on X saying, quote, effective immediately, every officer in the field in Minneapolis will be wearing these cameras as funding is available. The body camera program will be expanded nationwide. As far as funding goes, ICE just received a budget increase of tens of billions of dollars. So having enough money should not be an issue here. President Trump weighing in saying, quote, they generally tend to be good for law enforcement because people can't lie about what's happening. This is overnight. The death of 37-year-old protester and nurse Alex Preddy was ruled a homicide by the medical examiner after he was shot and killed by federal agents. The medical examiner had also ruled the shooting of another protester, Renee Good, was a homicide as well. In both cases, local investigators say they are being blocked from accessing key evidence by the federal government, while DHS, George, says that both investigations are being carried out by the book.
All right, well, like I said, body cameras work many times. I remember fighting for body cameras right here in the city of Milwaukee with local law enforcement. I even went down to Ferguson back when they had all of that going down in Ferguson. And I remember being interviewed by a national news publication about body cameras. And at the time, we thought that body cameras was going to be the fix. They was going to help fix a lot of the situations that we were facing. And you would think that it would, but we still got situations where they got the whole body camera and nothing happened. And then you also got situations with Joel Acevedo where I still haven't seen the unredacted body camera for Joel Acevedo when he was choked by the police officer, or what they saying is a off-duty Milwaukee police officer. I still haven't seen that video. So body cameras sound like, sounds like a great idea, but it does come with its problems. That body camera footage, it can get tricky if you're trying to get it, especially if they control it. Now, if it's against you, they gonna put it out there. Like if you the one that's causing the problem with the body camera and they get you, it's gonna be out the next day. But if it's them, you're gonna need an attorney. You're gonna have to come with a team to get that video. And I'm telling you from personal experience. And I know when we talk about local police and they got body cameras and we still have death in police custody, we still have problems and we still have question marks, even with the body camera. But I'll say this, it's something. It's better than having nothing. I'll say this. This is why I say when you protest, make sure you got your own copy by using your phone too. Use your phone to record too. This is why I'm never in favor of people getting arrested and going to jail at protests. It's expensive. It can create hardships. But I am for people to stand up for themselves and what they believe in. But I'm not for that. I was never for that interaction where people can end up, either losing their life or being brutalized at a point of the protest where we're just coming to make a statement. And many times, a lot of people, they want to have that confrontation. They want to have that physical altercation with somebody that was given orders. You got to realize these agents were given an order to go out and do what they're doing. You may feel some type of way about what they're doing, but it's a gray area when they've been told to come out and do it. So that's where the qualified immunity kick in, because the government told them to do it. The president of the United States, the police chief told them to go out there and do it. So they're going to have the backing of the unions and everything with their actions, and you out there and you ain't even got no health insurance, or you out there and you broke, you ain't even got a job. You out there and you don't have the means to fight up against what you're doing. So you got to be smart. You can't just be out there willy-nilly acting silly. You got to be strategic. You got to know to capture the information that you're trying to capture, prove your point, and be able to go home and come back the next day. That's all I'm saying. And I never thought it was a good idea for somebody to interact with law enforcement. These are just people that were given orders from a larger idea that you don't even see. Now, if you a bot, it happened to you. You probably got with some kind of organization and they got you out there. Some paid protesters out there too. All that ain't original. A lot of these protests ain't even original no more. They get bussed in. A lot of buses show up with a lot of people with a lot of signs. That's not the hood. That's not regular people. These are people it's some people that's professional protesters. They get the email and they just grab a sign and go stand out there. A lot of this ain't organic, okay? But a lot of regular people will see all of that, not understanding what's going on, then they'll jump out there, and then many times they get caught up in the shuffle. Understand what I'm saying? If you want to join the conversation, 833-212-1017. We got Eddie on the lines.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
How you doing, Eddie?
Good day, Troy Lowe. How you doing?
Hey, I'm feeling powerful.
I got about 3 minutes to talk. I'm outside my dentist office. I got to run in there and get my teeth cleaned, but I wanted to throw something out at you. Remember the time I lost a bet to you, and I'd take you and Winky Boo out
talk
to that
about it all the time.
That expensive steakhouse? I don't like to bring it up, Tori, because I lost the bet. Okay?
You did. You lost.
What was the bet?
It was over.
I paid you.
Hold on. It was over if they were going to charge the officer for the situation in Joel Acevedo's case.
And what did I say?
You said that they were going to charge you.
And what happened?
And they didn't. And I said that it could get tricky.
Right. And so I lost that bet. And we went out for steak. I lost the bet. I made the bet. I lost it.
You
it
lost.
Is what it is.
It
couple months ago.
It took a while.
No. It took a while because you weren't available. And if you ask the producer, I think it was Zach. You keep rotating these producers, Tori.
Here we go.
I think it was DJ Brothers. I'm not sure, but I've asked many times.
Get to the point.
Here's my point. There was an altercation with an off-duty officer on the north side of Milwaukee, let's say 3-4 months ago. And remember, cop came out, and this guy punched the off-duty cop, and what happened to the guy?
What situation was
Remember?
this?
Do you remember? Well, a cop was driving. He was off-duty. I think he was in his pickup truck. A guy
you're talking about
a 26-year-old.
You talking about Willis?
I guess. You know what? There's so many of these things, I can't keep them straight. But you know what? How long did it take? How long did it take for that video to get on TV?
It came out ASAP. It didn't take long because Attorney B.I.V. Lamar got involved in it too. Salute to Attorney B.I.V. Lamar.
Yeah, but still, if he was involved with the, when Joe Acevedo got killed, it still hasn't been released. You see what I'm saying?
It's still,
so when it benefits the agenda,
the unredacted version hasn't been released.
Okay, you know what I'm saying, Tori. You get what I'm saying, right? All right. Tori, on that note, I got to go. I'm at the dentist's office. I got to get my teeth cleaned. Tori, I like to keep them clean. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Tori.
All right. All right. Hey, look. When we come back, we got the lines open. What has a black invented? What is a black invention that has changed the world? We talking about it right here on the Tori Lowe Show. Stay locked in.
More of the Tori Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, make sure you tune in on Thursday, February 5th at 10 a.m. on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, as there will be a special Forward Together for Kids live interview on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. City 4 Collective's Coleston Morgan Jr., along with special guest Al Keith, CEO of Milwaukee College Prep, and Anthony McHenry, CEO of Milwaukee Academy of Science, will be joining Sherwin for a powerful conversation on education and the importance of the Black Educator Pipeline. You definitely won't want to miss that conversation.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends, if it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, we are hooking you up with a chance to attend the second annual Truth Community Awards happening Friday, February 20th at Venue 3, starting at 5:30 p.m. We're celebrating the people that make a real difference in our community, and one lucky listener is about to win a pair of tickets to be in the building to celebrate with the entire Truth family. Be caller number 10 right now at 833-212-1017 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the second annual Community Awards. Tickets include food, good vibes, and an unforgettable night of celebrating community excellence. Once again, caller number 10 at 833-212-1017. Call in, get some tickets for the second annual Truth Community Awards right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall, Venue 3, 833-212-1017. Caller number 10 will get a pair of tickets to hang out with Truth Nation. I'm so excited about the Truth Community Awards. I cannot wait to see everybody out. That last year was powerful. Once again, 833-212-1017. If you want to join us right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall for the second annual Truth Community Awards. Food, good vibes. It's going to be an unforgettable night celebrating those in the neighborhood that are on these front lines. It's powerful, Truth Nation. I can't wait to see y'all out. If y'all want to get y'all tickets, if you want to join us, go to the Truth website, 1017thetruth awards.com to buy your tickets today. I cannot wait to see y'all out. I'm so excited for this year. For the Community Awards this year. I am so excited. Last year, we shut it down. This year, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to have a great time. Last year was an amazing event, and we get to do it again, but it's going to be right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. I cannot believe so many people are starting to get on these front lines. They're starting to be about that action. And that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about, being about that action. Once again, February 20th, put this on your calendar. Friday, February 20th at Venue 3, starting at 5:30. We will be celebrating those making a difference. Caller number 10 right now will get a pair of tickets to come out. Free food. Celebration, good vibes. Puff. Well, who we got? Freddie? Okay, salute to Freddie. Freddie, you're caller number 10. You will be joining us for the second annual Truth Community Awards this Friday, February 20th at Venue 3. I can't wait to see you, Freddie. It's going to be a great time. Also, I want to get into this story where they're saying that the Clintons are finally trying to come and sit down and talk about their involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Ain't this interesting? You know, the last committee meeting, they kind of skipped out on it. At the congressional committee meeting, and they was just about to put them subpoenas on them. Somebody must have called them and said, hey, y'all need to get here real quick. Y'all need to call in because they about to write this up on y'all, and they about to come with the whoop-de-bam on y'all. the congressional, if you don't show up to the congressional hearings, they can, if you're a political person, that's like how if you don't show up to court, if you're a regular person, then they put a hold on you. They're about to put a hold on these folks. But we got this story. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, hit that like and subscribe. Let's listen.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what changed is that the House was getting ready to vote on these contempt resolutions to hold them in contempt of Congress, which carries penalties. And quite frankly, we saw the House Oversight Committee pass those contempt resolutions a couple of weeks ago after the Clintons didn't appear for that deposition. But now those resolutions were poised to move forward to the House floor for a full vote. In fact, they were being marked up in the House Rules Committee. And during that committee meeting, we learned of these developments of the Clintons agreeing to testify. In fact, one member of the Oversight Committee kind of broke the news to the panel, and even the chair, James Comer, seemed taken aback and surprised by that news, because when we caught up with him after that committee meeting, he said, I don't have any terms. I don't have anything in writing. So now he has since put out a statement saying that he will clarify the terms of this agreement and discuss next steps with the committee. But of course, Clintons have denied any wrongdoing with respect to the Epstein case, and that's why the House Oversight Committee wanted to bring them in to testify about their ongoing investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein matter. So unclear exactly when the Clintons may appear. Their lawyer said in a statement that they will do so at a mutually agreeable date, although the ranking member on that committee, Robert Garcia, told me he imagines it could potentially be as soon as a few weeks or months, Errol.
All right, so they giving them time. They said when they can meet up at a convenient time. I wish I had that kind of privilege, If the court tell you to come on this date and you miss it, you might get a hold on you. You don't get to say, you know what? Maybe in a couple weeks or a couple months, depending on my schedule. This is what this sounds like. But here we go. I talked about this yesterday. I'm trying to move on from it, these Epstein files, because ain't nobody going to jail, and it's kind of messing with my blood pressure. So I got to calm down. Because when I read some of these things that was reported and I didn't see nobody going to jail, I'm trying to figure out what they trying to do, what they really trying to do. I know, it makes sense when it's rich people. A lot of people, all of a sudden, they got money and, it's hard to get them. But when it's little Ray down the street, it don't matter. If you broke, you don't get that. You don't get that. You don't get the empathy. And that's the majority of the people that encounter the system. They don't got the money or the power to deal with the system half of the time. I always tell somebody, if an officer walk up on top of you and you in certain zip codes, they know you ain't got $30,000 to fight what they about to do to you. They know you ain't got $15,000 to $30,000 to fight what they about to put on you. You gonna just be sitting there talking about I ain't do it. But when you got money, they don't do it. In well-ran communities, they got to think about it, because you can file a lawsuit. When you got money, you can maneuver it in different ways. But when you poor, I'm going to put the hardship on you. I'm going to make you even poorer, because I'm going to arrest you knowing that I know you didn't do it, or knowing that I could put that hardship on your life because you're in this zip code. Understand what I'm saying? I always tell people it ain't worth it. Calm down, relax. Be quiet, because you ain't got the money to fight. You trying to turn up on the police officer, but you don't talk about the back end where you got to pay $10,000 to $15,000 for court. Okay, stop it. I'm not doing that. I've never encouraged nobody to go to jail. At no protest or nothing. Now, if I go to jail, I got means. I got attorneys. I got people that's going to fight for me. So I already knew when I woke up that morning I was going to jail. If I ever went to jail, I already knew I was going, because I already called everybody and told them, hey, look, this finna happen, and if this happen one more time, you may have to, we may have to get out of a jail situation, because I'm not going to let this happen again. I done already told them. Some of y'all just freelancing. Y'all thinking that y'all about to save the day and ain't got no strategy, And you're going to find out the reality about some of these protests, some of these things when it comes to dealing with these police officers and stuff like that. They already know you ain't got it like that. They seen the way you was dressed. They seen the shoes you had on. They know you ain't got it like that. So they going to put that on you, and you going to be struggling. I'm trying to throw that free game out there. I'm trying to help you. Don't let nobody push you out there in the front lines. We didn't had enough of that in Black history where black soldiers was put on the front lines. They didn't just regroup, rethink, and reshape. And now they still trying to stick black people on the front lines. They still trying to make black people the face of everything. Why? Because when it's time for war, they know that they can sacrifice the poor. Stay home sometime. Stop trying to fly out the window with the cape on it all the time. Pick and choose your battles. Make sure you got money for bond, when you go out there. Don't be begging after you went out there and got in trouble. Now you trying to do a GoFundMe. Stop it. The Clintons, they get a pass. They got political power. So they told them when they wanted to show up, and they going to listen to them. We going to show up when we feel like it. You ain't got it like that. Also, there's a story that I want to talk about that's going on in the South. It's a lot of extreme cold going on that ain't being reported. A lot of people went without electricity in extreme cold in the South. And I know some people that I know that's down in Mississippi, they had to go to the hotel because all the electricity was out. The ice was on the power lines. The ice was so thick it broke the power lines. So a lot of people was going without electricity. And I don't even see that on the news, on the mainstream news like that. The only ice they talking about is Minnesota. But it was an ice storm in the South that got everybody displaced for a little bit. So let's send up the prayers for those that are our loved ones that are down in the South where they just had that recent ice storm that took out all the power. And they was trying to find ways to stay warm. But this is a story about a Prince George County executive, and I think this is out of D.C. And is this out of D.C.? I want to talk about that when we get back. I want to talk about this Prince George County executive that spent almost $44,000 due to the winter storm for her and her constituents, and now she coming under fire, But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot of unreported stories going on right now about that ice storm that took place this past week. A lot of people was freezing down there. You thought they was freezing from Barada property. You thought they was here in Milwaukee without the heat. They was down there, down south without the heat. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what's going on with this Prince George County executive. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
Fred Hampton was born on August 30th, 1948, and assassinated on December 4th, 1969. We've all heard the fiery speeches. We've all heard the stories of his charismatic leadership as the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. But Minister Fred Hampton, or Black Moses as he was dubbed, was much more than that. Fred Hampton believed that the only way to create lasting change in this country was for the poor and underprivileged to join forces. With this in mind, in April of 1969, Fred Hampton announced the creation of the Rainbow Coalition, a coalition that would be used to fight police brutality amongst a list of other things. With all that's going on in our country today, we could use a Black Moses. 57 years later, and here we are again with the poor and underprivileged needing to unite once again. Let's see who steps up.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkmylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah, Milwaukee, stand up, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth, from 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready, we ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the 3rd hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And I'm going to need y'all to open up your ears because in this hour, you have a chance to be entered in to win our Gruber Law Office 5K giveaway. So I'm going to need y'all to stay tuned so y'all can enter in to win, courtesy of Gruber Law Office right here on 1017 The Truth. But I want to head over to this Prince George County executive who she was a county executive that took the staff and put them in the hotel, and it costed like $44,000 during the winter storm, and she's coming under fire. We got audio and video of this if you're watching as we broadcast live. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's listen.
As the snow and sleet piled up last week, Prince George's County Executive Aisha Braveboy, her top staffers, along with several county council members, 25 in all, were holed up here at the hotel at the University of Maryland at taxpayer expense. In an exclusive interview Monday, Braveboy explained she wanted her team in one place.
Because there were a lot of decisions that had to be made in real time.
With the main county building closed after a small electrical fire and other facilities fully staffed, she chose to seek a hotel.
I can tell you that we were able to coordinate over 137 emergency medical trips. There was an incident where we had seniors who lost power in a building. We found out, and in real time, we were able to move and transfer in less than an hour.
But the stay here is being criticized by some community activists in part because of this video Braveboy and her team released, urging people to stay home.
What?
Critics on social media have called that video tone deaf as citizens were stuck at home dealing with a serious storm.
Were you all partying at the hotel?
No, no. In fact, you have my schedule. You'll see it. We were up at 7:30 in the morning.
According to hotel invoices released to 7 News at our request, the total cost was just over $43,000 for 3 nights, including 25 hotel rooms at $149 each, a conference room at $300 per day, and an $18,000 audio-video setup.
The whole storm response is going to be in excess of $16 million. So you're talking about a fraction of those costs. And the majority of those costs were actually AV and other equipment that we set up to see in real time the conditions of the roads.
All right, see, this is why everything ain't good for social media, because it could get misinterpreted. Now, she said it was some good work done, but once again, I mean, $44,000 for 3 days for 25 people for her staff. I mean, they going through the records now. They trying to see where all the money went, but you on the TikTok, you know, it looked like run that TikTok back. You don't have to play the sound. Don't play the sound. But run the TikTok back. I think I seen somebody dancing with some money in their hand. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? And I know it's the TikTok era where y'all can't even hold it in. Y'all got to run the TikTok. Sometimes people don't know what you're doing, but then you go to TikTok and do something like what they did. And I ain't saying that they didn't help nobody, because obviously they got records of them helping people. But those few moments on TikTok where she on the act overdoing it, and they got a little drill going, and it looked like somebody to walk across the camera with some cash, you know, that's distasteful. Look, do he got some cash in his hand? It looked like he had some money in his hand. One of the staff members looking like they came across the camera on TikTok with some cash in his hand. Like, I would have questioned this video too. Why y'all up there dancing and doing the pop, lock, and drop it? And look at this pause right with her mouth open and everything, singing. Like, this is why people don't take a lot of y'all serious, because y'all supposed to be in important positions, but y'all jump on the internet and do, you know, ridiculous stuff. You know, this ain't the musical. This real life. You know what I mean? Some of y'all gonna get big. Some of y'all look. Somebody look at this. Look at. Why she got her mouth open like that? See, this is why people don't. This is why people they don't take what these people doing serious, because they got high bills from staying 3 days at a hotel with the staff, and now they on there singing on TikTok. If I don't know nobody working 80 hours a week that got time to be playing on TikTok and throwing money and flashing money. It looked like he was flashing money to me. So they should be under investigation. Hopefully they did the right thing during the time and all the paperwork come out right. But if it don't, they gonna get it, because that was crazy. People freezing at the, they doing a winter storm where people freezing to death, and y'all on TikTok bugging and looking like y'all flashing money and doing a pop, lock, and drop it. I don't know. Maybe it's me. These supposed to be the elected officials. That's why they don't take a lot of y'all serious, man. Like a lot of y'all elected officials, y'all be on TikTok doing too much. Y'all be wanting to, y'all be doing too much at the wrong time, especially during crisis. Especially during a crisis. But like I said, hey, what they say in the chat, TikTok will be the death of some of us. Yeah, y'all put all your business on TikTok. I don't know why y'all run to the social media. What my granddaddy used to say. My granddaddy used to say, the devil don't know what's going on until you tell him. That's then you open your mouth and say something. They might, it's their problem. But once again, it's a huge storm that took place, and a lot of people in the South, I don't even see the news even covering a lot of this. Andrew, see if I asked Andrew to find something that was going on down south with these ice storms the other day. You said you couldn't find nothing.
I found a little bit, but nothing up to date that we needed.
Why wouldn't you, if it's a lot of people down south that's suffering, and old people that's going without heat, why ain't no mainstream news coverage on this?
I guess it just didn't hit any of the major cities, like Atlanta, Charlotte, those cities. I guess.
No, that's where black people live at.
I didn't say that, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying that's where I know where the black people stay at.
You're not wrong.
From what you were saying, I said, okay, the black people live over there. It's a lot of black people freezing right now out here with no electricity, even in Milwaukee. I mean, I cover what I can see in Milwaukee, but it's a lot of people down south that's suffering in the ice storm, and y'all don't even know nothing about that. Y'all only know what's going on in Minnesota. Y'all better use y'all phones. And I got relatives and people family members down there that's having to stay in hotels. So I understood when the Prince County executives had to stay in the hotel, but all this going on TikTok, and sometimes when you look at elected officials and you see they spending all this money and they going on these trips, you need to raise an eyebrow. And you got time to get on TikTok. How you saving lives and you on TikTok singing and doing the drill and doing the wobble? Okay. All right. I guess we can go over to the Houston story. Man killed after interviewing an attack on elderly woman inside the 3rd Ward. This is something that happened down in Houston. Man killed after interviewing an attack on an elderly woman inside the 3rd Ward. This is what the family is saying. This is what happened. He was intervening. The words was twisted. He was intervening in an attack of an elderly woman, and he got killed in Houston. And, this was a sad story. I thought that this should be something that we should bring to the forefront, because when you intervene in something, especially when it's an elderly person, you got to make sure you understand what you're doing. A lot of times we get that impulse to try to jump in, and many times we leave ourselves vulnerable. But like I said, this is once again another situation where somebody tried to help an elderly person that was being attacked and lost their life down in Houston. They've been talking about this. It's been making its way around social media. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, we got video. Let's listen.
He's been out of prison for about 4 years, and the family members have said that he just hasn't been right since he got out of prison.
Early Thursday morning, Houston police responded to a home in the 3rd Ward. 45-year-old Spencer Germany had been shot and killed. He was at his friend's mother's house when police say this man, Rogers McFarland, showed up with a gun. Tonight, Spencer's mother and his 2 sisters are sitting down with us to tell us what happened. It's a story that you haven't heard.
She wanted everybody to know that her son died trying to help someone else.
Hours earlier, when Spencer first got to the house on Anita Street, the family says he saw Rogers McFarland strangling his elderly mother.
He wasn't going to let it happen.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't going to happen.
They say Spencer intervened, pulling McFarland off his mother and beating him. McFarland left the home.
He came back a couple of hours later and shot my brother.
Then McFarland took off.
But you know what? He was a monster for to come through there and just try to do that to him like that.
Eventually, the women say McFarland was caught after his own mother told police where he was hiding. Today, McFarland appeared in court and was given a $750,000 bond.
Them giving him a bond was giving him a chance. My brother don't have no more chances. That's it for him.
It's a loss this grieving family will feel for the rest of their lives.
And that's a big boy.
So much because he's such a good child. I just can't stress enough how much he means to us, our whole family.
Now that Spencer's gone, the whole family is determined to see justice.
Because if I have to come from New Orleans to here to court every time he come, I'm going, because I have my son know that I'm that mother that's gonna go. So I have to let him know I'm here, so I'm here. He may not be there, but I'm going to be there for my family and my son.
Well, my condolences to the family, and like I said, when you try to intervene in some things and things escalate, especially when it's internal with the family, like this is wild to me many times when you see things like this, and families have to grieve this way, and that's why I say you got to make sure that you understand the climate and the energy that people put out, because some people walking around with negative energy, they're around the family. They could be your family member. Somebody listening to the show right now around somebody negative, listening to the Tory Lowe show right now. Be careful, you know what I mean? Because Negative people can only breed negative outcomes. They can only do something bad. If they're not thinking about anything good, then if they always negative, only thing that they can produce many times with that mentality is something negative. So just make sure that it's the beginning of the year and you surround yourself with positive thinkers. If you got that negative person in your house, cast that devil out the house. Send them out, send them packing. It ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. Hey, look, when we come back, state Democrats announced new marijuana legislation. I want to talk about this new marijuana legislation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in for Dr. Ken's trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know. And Tory Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Celebrating Black excellence, celebrating our history. All month long on 1017 The Truth.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Erie Insurance.
Find a local agent at erieinsurance.com.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's Mr. Lowe. Hey, could the people's champ, the life of the party, you know I get it jumping. Yeah. You know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field. Everywhere you go, I'm there, baby, and that's real. You know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field. I said I'm Mr. Lowe. Hey, could the people's champ, the life of the party, you know I get it jumping. And you know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field.
Hello, this is Tory Lowe from The Truth at Educators Credit Union. Your money's powered by purpose. Educators Credit Union community advocates driven to uplift the Milwaukee community with donations to local organizations such as Milwaukee Tool, Library, and sponsorships of events, large and small, that take place in our own backyard. Make the switch to Educators Credit Union. Go to ECU.com. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. Also, hey, I feel like we didn't do the Gruber Law Office giveaway. You want to do it right now? Let's do it. Hey, if y'all listening, hey, it's your chance to be our one call. That's all 5K entry winner today, courtesy of Gruber Law Office. Yes, be entered in to win $5,000. Be caller number 10 right now, and you'll be entered in to win our $5,000 giveaway right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, courtesy of Gruber Law Office. Again, that's 833-212-1017. Be entered in to win our 5K giveaway. And remember, if you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Office today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Hey, that's powerful.
One call, that's all.
Hey, look, also make sure that you get your kids signed up for Our Voices, Our Stories. This Black History Month 1017 The Truth is opening up the mic to Milwaukee's youth, young boys and girls sharing what Black history means to them in their own words. I'll be reading and sharing your submissions with the 1017 The Truth audience all month long. Our Voice, Our Stories. If you know a young person with something to say, share the message with me on social media. Reach out to 1017thetruth.com. However you want to do it, reach out to Tory Lowe, and I will have that young person's story right here on the show. Hey, look, I guess White Widow says, life for the party. Another AI song gone wrong. Tory stays in the back and observes. Tory can keep a cap on it. Better than me. Discipline. Yeah, well, in my private time, I like to turn up. I don't turn up in public like that. I try to keep watchful. There's always something going on in the public. But if I'm ever off to the side and I'm comfortable, I can be the life of the party, White Widow. I can be the life of the party sometimes. Sometimes it don't, you got to know when to pick and choose your spots, when to turn up. I used to be in a rock band, White Widow, so trust me. I got the wild side, but I got it tamed right now. You can't be out there all wild and crazy out here in these streets. So I kind of wait till I can get around, in the space where I can let myself, have a break or two, especially around my birthday. Like I try to dip off to the side. I try to enjoy myself, but then it's back to work. Special occasions, I try to dip off to the side before I have to, I don't want to really get too serious. But who won? Who, Rodney? All right, Rodney, you'll be entered in to win our 5K giveaway, courtesy of Gruber Law Office. If you got any questions, go to 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules. That's powerful. All right, Rodney. Well, they trying to legalize the weed. They trying to get that weed legalized in the state of Wisconsin. Democrats have introduced legislation, and they was on the show talking about it. That they was going to do this. But we got video. They just recently came out with the press conference, excited about legalizing marijuana in the state of Wisconsin. If you're listening, we got video.
The will of the people is clear on this issue, and today, we're acting on it.
So says Democratic sponsor Darren Madison of Milwaukee. Right now, 40 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized marijuana in some form. A Marquette Law School poll from June found 2/3 of a sampling of voters think marijuana should be made legal.
Legalization of cannabis is not radical. What's radical is continuing a system that destroys lives, drains resources, and ignores the will of the people.
Among the bill's provisions, it would legalize recreational marijuana for adults 21 and older and create a division of cannabis regulation. People 18 and older could register as marijuana patients for medical use, and it would create a process to review previous marijuana crimes. Representative Madison pointed to racial disparities in cannabis arrests, saying while roughly the same number of white and black people use cannabis, black people in Wisconsin are nearly 5 times more likely to be arrested. In December, the president reclassified marijuana from a Schedule I drug with LSD and heroin to a less dangerous Schedule III drug. But getting the Wisconsin bill through the Republican-controlled legislature is still an uphill battle. Some Wisconsin Republicans have signaled support for legalizing medical marijuana, like Senate President Mary Felskowski, who put forward a bill in September. But recreational marijuana is a non-starter for Assembly Speaker Robin Vos.
I think marijuana is still a dangerous drug that should never be legalized in Wisconsin.
And Democrats say politics is blocking the main thing their bill is about.
The freedom of adults to make up their own mind, to make their own choice whether to consume cannabis.
All right, well, I'll say this. Only reason I feel that they haven't legalized weed in the state of Wisconsin is because those drug offenses, those nonviolent drug offenses, fuel the private prison system. And the prison system may be saying, hey, look, we don't want to legalize this weed because a lot of the people we got locked up, they would have to question that. And a lot of those are black. Milwaukee leads the country in mass incarceration, per population. So all I'm saying is it could be a trick to that maybe not being said. And I think it's because of the mass incarceration that's going on right here in the state of Wisconsin. And these private jails, they depend on having a certain amount of people in these cells, and they trying to get themselves full by any means necessary, even if it's over weed. And so if you take away that, how much of the population, the jail population, will dissipate? At least, 40? How many people, what's the percentage of people in Wisconsin that are locked up for nonviolent drug offenses? And then we'll see how many people go to jail, and we're going to see what the loss is for the jail system, for the private jail systems that fuel a lot of the economies in these small towns. So this is what I say is the problem. The problem is if we legalize the weed, one industry going to suffer. And then there will be other things that can happen in the black community that's going to create at least some type of wealth, because that is a new item that's now getting people employed and things like that. It got people destroyed. Now it's about to get people employed. So this is why I say that they're trying to fight against it. It's deeper than weed. It's about housing them bodies. Now, I know people say leave the weed alone, and I don't smoke weed. I'm not a weed smoker. I'm not that type of person. But I do see the surrounding states and other states that are, allowing the weed thing to go on. I think that why they not doing it in the state of Wisconsin is a little bit more sinister than that. They don't want to collapse a certain industry. Now, Andrew, what do we got? How many nonviolent drug offenses, which may be weed, that people may be locked up for in the Wisconsin prison system?
We don't have nonviolent. We have drug-related offenses. It's 4 out of every 5.
4 out of every 5.
So you could do the math there and go like, oh, wow, 4 out of every 5 for just drug offenses. Imagine most of those are probably nonviolent.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, how many of that make up the prison population with the weed?
They don't have that number ready.
Oh, they don't have that. They ain't gonna try to tell the truth. Understand what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want something that's taxable, that you can flood the tax base, kind of get more money coming in with the tax base and create more opportunities? Why would I'm not even a weed person, okay? But I do understand the tricks. When you see other people capitalizing off a certain idea, maybe Wisconsin haven't came around how to bring the balance, or have came with the negotiation to the prison system on how they're going to counterbalance not having to arrest people for nonviolent drug offenses. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they may lose some money. J Mac says, and how many drunk driving offenses have there been in Wisconsin compared to related weed offenses? Hey, we asking questions. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll be joined on the lines by advocate and author Elizabeth Brown. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Offscript Media has its eyes on the future of content. It's a vertically integrated and creator-powered media and commerce company that views itself as a one-stop shop for someone making content. Datavio Samuels is CEO of Offscript, and he says the company is focused on content creators in social.
Yeah, look, I think that social is the #1 platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible in social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them? Do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. With 2 days to go before the NBA trade deadline, the market for Giannis Antetokounmpo has started to make progress as the Milwaukee Bucks have submitted counteroffers to teams aggressively looking to deal for the two-time MVP. The Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks are among the most active suitors. The Milwaukee Bucks head into a matchup against the Chicago Bulls tonight after losing 5 in a row. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. 6 teams have officially left their regional sports network and joined Major League Baseball on Monday, essentially shredding their local media contracts, the Milwaukee Brewers being one of those teams. The teams have decided to partner with MLB, which will produce their games for the 2026 season and beyond. On Twitter, the Brewers confirmed that fans within the Brewers' home television market will have options to watch games on cable and satellite television or stream through MLB.TV app. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We out here fighting for the people. What we doing? doing? What we doing? We out here fighting for the people.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. Joining me on the lines, advocate author Elizabeth Brown. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, salute, King. It's Tuesday and the sun shining.
Hey, we've been talking about Black History Month, and we've been talking about what have blacks invented that have changed the world.
I mean, it's shorter to ask us what we haven't changed. We changed everything. I mean, we created everything. Everybody exists from this melanin because it's popping. So, I mean, again, it'd take us more than Black History Month to tell how much we have created.
That's why it should be every day. That's why Black History Month should be every day. You know, I think that many times when we talk about
Black history is American history.
I mean, I always tell people, like, you don't let them marginalize you or what your people have contributed to society, because everybody, if you're wearing shoes right now, it was a black man that helped get them shoes out there. You know what I mean? A black man created a machine called the Lasting Machine in 1883, and this invention allowed shoemakers to produce significantly more shoes. So we made the Lasting Machine, but then they put Nike on it.
Absolutely. Again, everything, all of our ideas was stolen, even to the point. Come on, man. Look, I promise you, it can't stop, won't stop when we start naming what it is that we have. Again, this world is what it is due to, our creation, our thought processes, even before we were trained or programmed to believe that Black history started with slavery. And that's the biggest lie
12 years
that was ever told, okay? Absolutely. Again, no. Even when we weren't reading and writing, we was creating. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why it was pivotal for them to not have us read and write, because we was creating things even when we could. When we were so-called illiterate, we still were producing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the greatness that we are, true alchemists, true creators, true providers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even to the point of knowing this land mass, producing the food. You know what I'm saying? Like being the individuals who, again, that was so welcoming. Everybody should give homage to us today, because especially anybody that's in America that's not from this landmass. Like, when you think about, the civil rights movement and all of these things, again, our blood, we laid our lives down for it. And the sad reality was, like I stated, as I'm going back on my lineage, I can date my great-great-great-grandmother back to America. So even before America was America, my lineage is of this landmass. So, I mean, Tori, it behooves me how we get the shortest month of the year and how individuals saying this and saying that. But again, if we decided to take everything we created, ain't nothing left. And what was proven when Black creators went off of TikTok, how quick, you know what I'm saying, like that collapsed. So again, if nothing else, what Black folks have to do, quote unquote, so-called Black folks, the indigenous of this landmass needs to do, is give ourselves the credit, not wait on nobody else to celebrate us. Because again, our greatness is bigger than anybody could ever put into words. To the point of, again, all of our ideas that have been stolen. Time and time again, we've been given this narrative that we have been less than. Everything they told us was a lie. It was upside down, and now we're turning it right side up. If nobody celebrates us, we need to celebrate us for the greatness, the resilience, that we continue to produce more with less. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even in the city of Milwaukee being the worst place to raise a black child, worst place to be black, we still the best of the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, hey, again, every day is Black history because every day we making history.
Hey, also, they just released legislation to, have marijuana legalized in the state of Wisconsin. And when we talk about the legalization of marijuana, I always related to the fact that the only reason they don't want it to happen is because it will send the private prison systems into a spiral almost.
Not only will it send, especially in the state of Wisconsin, who got supervision even after you done did your crime. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already, again, we know that they're really sucking life out the poor. Because those of us that are massively incarcerated at massive numbers, because we're leading in massive incarceration in this country, is really feeding on the poor. When you think about an individual that's been incarcerated, they not only do their time when they get out, that supervision. We got individuals paying to be on house arrest, to be on prison, to be in prison in their own home, and they paying for that on top of the calls that these individuals make. Now, this prison system make trillions of dollars. So, again, of course, they wouldn't be pushing because then they got to run them old laws back and all of that. And, again, the goal is to keep us locked out. So the sad part is they put our face on it as it being a problem when it comes to marijuana. We're the poster children for what's bad on it. But at the same time, they never show the faces that's producing all of this money in all of these counties that these prisons give individuals jobs while you locking individuals up, making trillions of dollars. They have to pay for their calls. They paying for the time that they there. They got to work a job. We've seen that on your show several times, how those formerly incarcerated, while incarcerated, they worked for HUD housing and all of these heavy machineries while in prison with no training. And then when they get out, these same companies like HUD and all of these construction sites don't want to give them a job, saying because they can't hire them because they was a felon. But when you think about McDonald's, when you think about Wendy's, when you think about Walmart, all of these individuals is making top dollar off of these inmates because, again, they wouldn't give them a job when they was out here on the street, but they allowed them to work for the same jobs that wouldn't hire them when they was free. When they got the felony, they was working for them in prison for 25 cents an hour. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the game is wicked. And when we talk about marijuana, again, the benefit don't never wind up in our favor. And the reason Wisconsin is going to drag their feet, again, because the supervision, it's a money game. And this is why we, the people, need to stand up and make sure that we're in these rooms and we have people that's advocating for us, because the sad reality is our face been on it on the flip side, on the bad side of it for a long time, but we never show any benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, look, I'll say this. When you see, I think what they say, 40 states have legalized marijuana, and then the last group of states, they giving pushback. I wonder what economy they don't want to compromise. And many times when I think about it, it's the prison system. Like, that's the only. You already know that's what it is. That's the only thing. I'll be like, okay, well, it's got to be something with that, because why wouldn't you just why wouldn't you create revenue when you already got the numbers of other states? They have already put in what they are making from allowing weed to circulate. And many times when you could take that money and at least get the potholes up out the street, you know what I mean? Come on. It doesn't make any sense when you're rejecting hundreds of millions of dollars, but yet you complaining that you don't got enough money, right? I'm just saying. The most segregated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have to think about the state of Wisconsin in totality. It's the most segregated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, again, it dates back to what we're saying. What's being produced outside of it's the private prisons and the monies
that goes into play. Not only that, the contracts that they signed when they created these private prisons, because if a body ain't in that bed,
they still get paid, I think.
Then they got to pay. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that they contracted for so many bodies, yeah.
Absolutely.
And even if it ain't a body in there, I think they still get paid, I think. From what I think.
Again, or they can run it back or sue somebody due to the fact that ain't nobody's in there. And this is why, again, we lead in mass incarceration, because they need to put bodies in them beds. And this is why, again, attached to the school-to-prison pipeline. It's a revolving door. It's a setup.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
but
look,
again,
what
pivotal
they say,
point that you're making.
The price gonna drop on the prison system if they got it on the stock market. The price,
that part,
the stock's gonna drop.
Hey, some people gonna get sued. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, their pockets.
Some people gonna get sued.
Our stockholders in the prison industry. Motor Elephant says most of them are stockholders in the prison system. Hey.
Absolutely. Like I said, look, we have to think about, like I said, Walmart, Wendy's. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you go down the list on how many of these prisons is connected, the license plates being made, and all of these things, again, it's a deep rabbit hole. It's going to be like the Epstein list. When you find out, when you dive deep, trust and believe.
And ain't nobody
it's
going
bigger
to
than
jail.
what we think. Come on.
Hey, look, when we come back, Elizabeth Brown, I want to get your final thoughts on today's show. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to comedian Charlie Behrens. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We need to optimize the PID controller for smoother robotic movements.
Our data analysis shows a significant correlation between the variables in both control groups.
The test shows you've experienced an acute myocardial infarction.
As you'll see on the syllabus, this course will largely focus on the Mesozoic era.
Get your child the access every child deserves. Enroll your K through 8th grade child by February 28 at Milwaukee College Prep, mkeprep.com/enroll.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you ain't know, I get the pesos.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Elizabeth Brown, they finally got the Clintons to agree to show up to the congressional meeting that they dipped out on. And I guess they gonna discuss the Epstein files. I don't know, how much. They might plead the fifth. I don't know, but I guess they got to decide, because I guess that when you got, when you the Clintons, you get to decide when you're showing up to these congressional hearings and stuff like that. You maybe next week, maybe in 2 months. I don't know. Let me check my schedule.
They got privilege,
right.
And one thing for sure and two for certain, we done seen it time and time again for all of these individuals who they consider the rich. They do what they want to do, and we do what we have to, The sad reality is, let that been us not show up. What was the black woman in Alabama didn't show up for a parking ticket, and the sheriff went out and arrested her for $184.
Hey.
Don't quote me on how much she owed, but it was pennies, and the people came out to get her. But, I guess, when you got it like that, clearly the law don't mean nothing for the rich. It's just to police the poor. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
Clear.
I'll say
We've
this.
seen it time and time again.
That's why I try to tell people, stop being a bot. Stop looking outside yourself. Stop thinking that, you don't have the power. Because many times when you give away your power, you probably right. You probably don't got the power because you done gave it away. Because when you start looking outside yourself for something to happen, usually you get disappointed.
Absolutely. And I would just advise Truth Nation, go and look at the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the things, I don't recall them, really putting the emphasis on it, because then you don't know the power that you have. When you know better, you do better.
Mm-hmm.
And when you understand that, because we, the people, is opposite. It's the government against us. We're not one. So.
Hey, once again. Also, I want to send a shout out because I did do my truth take on Dr. Gladys West. She recently passed away, but she created the foundation. She created the foundation for the GPS system that we know today. And everybody used the GPS system. So when people come and they try to talk down on black or say that we this and we that, it's things that they're using every day that if it wasn't for a black person, they wouldn't have the convenience. And salute to Dr. Gladys West, because I did my truth take on her.
Salute.
But what I'm saying is,
absolutely,
a black woman helped create the foundation for the modern GPS system.
Absolutely.
So if you got that, if you got the MapQuest and you going somewhere, and you that's a black woman that they started that. That if it wasn't for this black woman, you wouldn't be able to have that. So many times people try to shortchange the contribution, but yet they living with the advantage of using the contribution.
Absolutely. And again, it just goes to say, how we have to make sure that, because if you expecting your enemy to give you the key to win the war, it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that we know the contributions that our ancestors and everybody has put in. A lot of times they whitewash the stories. The story's always been whitewashed. Mm-hmm. They, like I said, black history starts with slavery, and that's a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? It was greatness before then. They ain't talking about the Mayans, how all of the energy that's taking place on this planet, how, the White House and all of these capitals is set up. That's us. You know what I'm saying? That's greatness. But again, it's our responsibility because we can never expect our enemy to teach us what to do to overthrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like what got us under oppression. So the reality is it's time for us to know our greatness. It's time for us to perpetuate the greatness of our ancestors and our lineage, because for so long we've been programmed to believe, that white was right, or that it had to be a white savior, or it has to be this, or it has to be that. And the bottom line is, again, because they misled us to believe that without this so-called education system, that you're not going to be anything. Again, my ancestors, many who didn't have education, created so many things that my family right now is benefiting off of. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
hey, look, I always say
when it comes to that,
go right ahead.
Go ahead, Ken.
If you chewing on a chip, if you watching the Super Bowl, you chewing on potato chips. Thank George Crumb. You know what I mean? Crumb invented the potato chip after somebody complained about the thickness of his fries, leading to the creation of the popular snack. So, I mean, they chewing on chips. You know what I mean? They going in the refrigerator. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, like, people always try to, undermine things that instead of just saying, hey, look, this is greatness, and we are, benefiting from this. They always try to look at the culture and try to downplay everything that's going on right now. And I always try to tell people, sometimes you gotta take ownership of what your people done did or how you feel about your community instead of always being triggered by what somebody else is saying about your community.
Again, stop looking for somebody else to educate you on you and your lineage. That's our problem. We sitting waiting for somebody else to tell us. No, go and find your greatness. This is why I say, the elders that you have in your family, tap into them libraries. They're going to give you what it is that you need even before, the interruption of what we've been whitewashed in history. Greatness, again, we are creators. Mm-hmm. This is the year of Aquarius. A lot of us is about to do some creations that's going to go above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like we're giving birth to children that's going to make some great creations. This is why we have to tap in, and like I said, don't wait on nobody else to give us the credit that we know we already have. Pat yourself on the back, black man, black woman, and black child, because you have been greatness. The only reason they've been hating on you this long is because they don't want you to know how great you are. A lot of times they project what it is they feel about themselves, and they misled us to believe, again, that we were the servants and they were the kings and queens, and it was in the opposite. We were told history in the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Right, so, again, it's Black History Month, but, again, every day is Black History because we're making history every day. So, salute, Nation. And, again, don't look up the Constitution.
I appreciate you, Queen, for being on the front lines as usual. Well, hey, you got to let them know. Sometimes you got to let them know.
Hey.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show them.
Stand 10 toes down. Pop out and show them.
All right, Queen.
Period.
I'll talk to you soon.
King.
All right, Truth Nation. If you had a traffic light right now, Garrett Morgan invented the 3-position traffic signal. Hey, look, it's a lot going on. We're going to be talking about this all Black History Month. When I say keep your head on the swivel and green don't always mean go, salute to Garrett Morgan. Green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next.
Listen Fridays to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris during Black